Man, I can't believe it. I got myself a coil that I built at 0.00000 half, and it's just chucking the vapor, boy. Yeah, it's just crazy chucking the vapor. Just pow in my face, and I just die before I even get it out. Man, I can't believe it. I got myself a coil that I built at 0.00000 half, and it's just chucking the vapor, boy. Yeah, it's just crazy chucking the vapor. Just pow in my face, and I just die before I even get it out. Yo, man, I got this dang old coil that I built. It's triple, quadruple, twisty, super bent in half times 4 divided by 3 carry the 2 quad coil super wrap dragon Gundam style coil. Man, it's just absolutely insane. It's at 0.000. That's just full short, man. What's up, chucking the vapor? It's Likwid, West Texas Vaping Coalition, and tonight I wanted to talk about just not the box, but I want to talk about DNA 30s versus your mechanicals. I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that do mechanicals and are getting really upset with me, and I know there's going to probably be some people that got DNA 20s or DNA 30s in their possession that's going to be like, oh, you know, epiphany. Okay, I'm ready to get in trouble, and go ahead and give me all your bad comments down below and everything, and tell me that I'm not, you know, it ain't right, and I'm not a true sub-ohmer, and mechanicals are awesome. And I do like my mechanicals, but thing I found out last week, for that big huge vapor, you don't have to sacrifice your flavor, and the way to do it is with a DNA 20 or a DNA 30 regulated device. And a lot of people I stood, and I was the same person sitting there making, you know, a 0.2 or a 0.3 to, you know, blow those big monster clouds and everything. And I was using, you know, my DNA 30, putting it at 30 watts and doing my thing. The thing was, I was kind of, in my opinion, I was sacrificing the flavor for the big cloud. So, you know, you would just do, you know, your regular 100% VG just to mess around with the big clouds or whatever. But you don't have to. And Zen is kind of one that brought this one to light for me when I was in DC. He said, when you get home, he's like, take your RDA and build yourself, you know, a big coil, high resistance. And instead of dual or tris or quad coils or anything, just one coil, a simple build, 32 gauge, you know, get it as high as you possibly can, and try that out and get back to me. So I did it, and it's pretty much freaking amazing. This is what I got. I got a 3.7 ohm. I don't know if you can read that or not. 3.7 ohms. I'm at 16 watts. I don't need to go any higher whatsoever on this DNA 30. And at 3.7 ohms, at 16 watts, if you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not. Come on, focus. This regulated device is giving me 7.7 volts. So I can achieve the wattage I want at the resistance I want. And the reason why it's doing that is because the DNA 30 and the DNA 20s, the chip itself has a bump feature in it. And what that bump feature does is it looks at the battery and says, hey, battery, notice you're not going to be able to do what this guy is asking you to do. Let me help you out. So it'll actually bump the voltage in order to achieve the wattage that you have on there to hit the atomizer that you built, or coil that you built. So that's what it is. And the thing about it is, it does that, and it uses about 25% of the battery life. So instead of having those 4 coils drop down to 1 coil, using 75% less battery, so I'm using a quarter of the battery, so it means my battery's going to last 3 times as long. And in this dang thing, you know, that's pretty much amazing. I mean, this is 5,800 mAh as it is, and I was getting, you know, if I vaped at 30 watts, you know, with a 0.3, I'd get, you know, a day or 2 days, 2.5 days, and then I would have to charge it again. But with this, I don't have to do that. And the build I got, it's a simple. I don't know if you can see it or not, because I have crappy lighting here, but it is a 32 gauge, 18 wrap Canthal, 3.7, and it's on my Trident V2. And what I did was, instead of using a big huge bore drip tip all the way down, I mean it's a big bore drip tip, but it tapers in. And the reason why I did that too is your coil is pretty much like a motor, and if it's wide open, there's no compression. If there's no compression, you're just pretty much wasting fuel. And what that does, if you lower your opening a little bit and still keep your airflows wide open, I mean, you want a lot of airflow on the inside, but you want that compression to build, because that compression is going to give you denser vapor. And with denser vapor, you're going to get, you're going to have those big, huge, dense clouds that block out light. And not only do you get that, you're going to keep your flavor. Actually, you're going to get more flavor because you're running at higher voltage and it's not burning as hard. So you're going to get that really good flavor. You're going to get that awesome fill in your lungs that I think a lot of people are looking for, especially with sub-ohming and stuff. You're going to get that big fill in your lungs. And it's just something you can't get with a mechanical. I'm not saying that I'm giving up all my mechanicals and going to run high ohms. I'm just saying it's just a cool option, especially if you go to like different vape meets or you go to cloud chasing competitions or anything like that. I mean, imagine you going into a cloud chasing competition where you got your airflow right, you got your compression right, you can run 4, 5, 6 ohms and just have tons of flavor and blow clouds just as big as the cat that's got the the quad super duper nano dragon kill your mother coils that drips 3 times, vapes drip 3 times, vape got to change a battery, he's got a whole pocket full of batteries. So try to get that fresh hit all the time. That's the other really cool thing about regulated devices. You're going to have that voltage every single time. I'm going to get 7.7 volts every single time with this build. With a battery on a mechanical, you can't do that. You get a fresh battery, you pop it in, you hit it the first time, that's a fully charged battery, great vapor. From that point on, whether you notice it or not, that battery's starting to drop. So it happens. I mean, the drop is like right away. It's just like if you took a rock and you tied a rope around the rock, and then you tied the other end of that rope like on a swing set, and you held that rock to your chin and you let go of that rock. It's going to swing all the way out, but when it comes back up, it's not going to touch your chin because it's already losing, it's moving, it's inertia. That's the same thing. With a battery and a mechanical, you're going to lose that. I mean, from the first vape, second vape, there's a little bit lost each time, and it takes quite a few drags on it to start noticing the loss. But why not have something that's regulated that's going to boost your, because the battery is 3.7 volts. It's always 3.7 volts, but with a regulated device with a bump feature in it, you're gonna have that 7.7 volts every single time. So let me take a vape really quick, show you what I'm talking about. 16 watts, 3.7 volts. Fogging the place up every single time. 7.7 volts. That's on just a single coil. So if you guys want to try something new, if you got a DNA 20 or a DNA 30 and you kind of set that aside because you grab your mechanical, because you think that's the only way to get those big clouds, go the opposite way. Just try it. Just try a build, just a single coil. Do 4 ohms or 5 ohms and put it on your DNA 20 or your DNA 30, and crank it up to where you can get some really decent voltage, like 6, 7, 7.5, 7.7 volts or whatever, and notice how long you can vape on that and vape on that and vape on that. I mean, this isn't even friggin' warm. You know what I'm saying? Like usually 3 tugs like that on a 0.3, my RDA is warm, and this one is not warm at all. It's ready to go, and I'm using 25% battery. So instead of having a pocket full of batteries and carrying 30 amps so I can go to a competition, or I can go to a vape meet or something like that and be able to mess around and blow clouds and have fun, I don't have to do that. I can just take this and use 75% less battery and still do the same thing and not sacrifice flavor. That's the big thing. You get those lower ohms. I don't know about you, but for me, that flavor is sacrificed because you're frying that liquid, because it's just frying really fast because it's such a a low build that you're getting your vapor production, but you're sacrificing the flavor. And I know a lot of people will say, well, I don't, I vape 100% VG when, I go to cloud chasing competitions, or I do 50/50, no nicotine, no anything. This, you can do all of that. You can do, your regular 100% VG if you want to, but I can grab, my mother's milk, or I can grab, any of the flavors that I really, really enjoy, and I can put it on there, and I can get all that flavor and nice, dense vapor and huge clouds if that's what I want. So, at 3.7 ohms. I'll blow it on the light. Watch. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. So, Zen, you were right. Glad I got drunk with you Friday night. Or Saturday night. Friday? Saturday. No, Friday. Whatever. But I'm glad you told me that, man. That's great information. And I'm not killing my battery. So I guess for me, it's like, hey, you don't have to be a sub-ohmer. You can be a mega-ohmer. That's my new word. Mega-ohms. Like I said, it's not going to cause me not to use my mechanicals because I still think it's fun. I like the mechanicals. I like the way they look. They're really becoming, pieces of art. They got the V3 flip. That's just unbelievable engraving, and you got all these other ones coming out like the Dreadnought, and my Panzer Black Hawk, and there's a whole bunch of different ones like the Hades and the Big Nasty. Like they're works of art. They're really pretty. A lot of them have a lot of engraving. Some, especially the 26 650s like the Hades. That's a piece of art. That's a really cool device, and I think you're going to see with more and more of these regulated devices like the DNA 20s, the DNA 30, the GI2, doing 160 something watts or 170 something watts, which I really don't think you need. But just think if you did that and had all that battery, and then you could just build a huge 5 or 6 ohm coil and have those big monster clouds, and people just be like, what? And I think that's what it's about. Just something new. I just wanted to share it with you guys really quick. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys will try it. And if you do try it, please comment down below or hit me up on West Texas Vaping Coalition on Facebook, and let me know what you think. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's my my little thing that I learned for the regulated devices like the 20s and 30s with the boost feature in it. So try it out. You're not going to be upset at all. It'll probably bring a whole new meaning to your 20s and 30s. You'll start building a little bit different, or have one set aside just for that, and take it out and show your friends, and they'll show 2 friends, and they'll show 2 friends, and they'll show 2 friends. But that's what I wanted to do. So you guys have a good evening. Thanks for watching. If you got any comments, please leave them down below, and don't forget to tell your friends. Watch my channel, please. I need all the members I could possibly get, and hit me up on West Texas Vaping Coalition on Facebook. We have a whole bunch of cool things coming up, so you might want to join in on that. Got vape?
Well, I don't care what Likwid says. I'm going to still build my .000000001s. I don't care what he says. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to blow cloud for days. Wait till I get on my computer and I tell him a thing or three, because I got things to tell him. He ain't going to believe it.